squad on my office for missing way too much school. And I know some of y'all have been there this year. But even though we've gone through some not so pleasant moments, class of 2015, just know that greatness is what we are on the brink of. Now, I will humor you all with a story. So, as most of you know, okay, probably all of you know, I'm pretty unathletic. And by unathletic, as my good friend Erica Wade would say, I'm generally bad at everything. And so last summer, I took a little mission trip to Africa. And I'm sure that everyone who knows me in the audience probably just rolled their eyes because I talk about Africa too much. Whatever. Anyways, I went to Bakel, Senegal, and I was so excited to be immersed in the culture, to eat the food, and to teach others about Christ. So I packed my bags and boarded an 8-hour flight along with a team from my youth group, and we were off. And everything was going great until I realized that one of the primary purposes of this trip, it was to host a basketball camp. And if you remember a few moments ago when I said that I'm generally bad at everything, basketball is included in that everything. But I thought, it can't be that bad, I'm a fast learner, I'll get it really quick. On the contrary, I can barely dribble, and now I was 4,487 miles from home and expected to teach African children to play basketball. So, on the first day of camp, it went okay. They were better than I was, but that was fine with me. I watched these kids who had little to no material possessions at the time of their lives playing basketball. In that moment, they didn't care about my basketball skills or the fact that it was over 100 degrees outside. They were genuinely full of joy just to have learned a new game. Seeing this made me realize something. We can't let our fear determine our fate. I know, that's cliche, but it's also true. I could have sat at home and not traveled across the Atlantic Ocean to host a basketball camp in Bakel just because something was a little intimidating. But instead, I went for it, and I ended up having the most life-altering, incredible days of my life. I tell you this story because the lesson that I learned can be carried with all of us into this next chapter of our lives. Some of us will be moving away to attend college. Go Knights. Others of us will be entering into various branches of our armed forces. And the rest of us will be entering into the workforce, or grown-up world, as I like to call it. Wherever we're going, we'll have scary times. It's inevitable, and life happens. But I'd like to challenge the class of 2015 to remember that your fears don't determine your fate. We all have things that intimidate us. For some, they may be rational, like natural disaster, even death. And for others, they might be a little irrational, like basketball. Anyways, we can't let these fears hold us back. We must move forward and go boldly in the direction of our dreams. We must cast aside our anxieties and be reminded that our faith is greater than our fear. Which brings me to my next point. I'd like to share with you a verse from the Bible that can be helpful in carrying us into this new chapter of our lives. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and to give you hope in the future. To me, isn't that just so cool that someone who knew us before we were even born knows every step of our lives? This verse is so comforting because it reminds us that even when we have no idea where we're headed, He has us in His hands, and things will work out according to His perfect plan. I pray that each of you will hold this verse close to your hearts in the coming years. And always remember that sometimes people may fail us, and our circumstances may change for the worst, but God will always be there for us to follow and to turn to. Well, now that I've shared with you a few quotes and the story, it is now time for me to move on to what some may call the most important part of this speech, the thank yous. I'd like to begin by saying thank you to our parents. Thank you for raising each of us and for instilling in us values that will lead us into adulthood. Thank you to our families who are here with us today. Woo! And for traveling to see us graduate, especially my aunt from Maryland. Okay, sorry about that. I'd specifically like to thank my mom and dad. I wouldn't be half the person that I am without the two of you. And thank you to Stephanie for being cool, and also the wind beneath my wings. Thank you to our peers and underclassmen. Thank you for always supporting us in all we do, and also, thank you for enabling us to be the greatest class at our school. Thank you to our teachers. Without you, we would not have been able to do this. Seriously, they don't just hand out diplomas these days. Thank you for teaching us math, science, reading, and writing, but also about life. Especially thank you to Miss Kelly Burnett and Miss Tiffany Perkins. I will forever be grateful to the both of you for teaching me lessons about the real world and for always referring to us as your babies and A scholars. I'll never forget the times in Miss Burnett's AP Environmental Science class with her reminding us to buckle our seatbelts because we're about to fly. Ah, the best of times, and also the worst. Just kidding, kind of. Thank you to our office staff for keeping us in order and making sure we never miss a deadline. I'd like to thank our guidance department for important guidance, and also for making sure we made it to this point. A huge thank you to our cafeteria and custodial staff. I know that we don't say it enough, but you're greatly appreciated by so many. Thank you to our senior sponsors, Miss Becky and Miss Tara. Without these two ladies, none of this would be possible. Seriously, they deserve a hand. Our school board and our district, and thank you to our principal, Dr. Brent Tilley, for always having a laugh but still staying busy. Lastly, I would like to say thank you to the class of 2015. Thank you all for being my peers, classmates, and most importantly, friends. Thank you for all of the laughs and memories that we will cherish a lifetime. I am thoroughly convinced that this class is the greatest class to ever walk the halls of Hilliard Middle Senior High School. And I am positive that our school will not be the same without us. I mean, what other grade would have a large number of seniors on the list to make 59s in all their classes due to absences, consistently bother Miss Becky, or be unique enough to have a group of boys with the self-proclaimed title, Squad? Our class can be remembered for many reasons, but mostly for our originality and our legacy of excellence. It is with both happiness and sadness that I address you all today, but mostly it is with excitement because I know that the class of 2015 is about to go out and do great things. Well, I'm almost out of note cards and time, so I will leave you with 3 final thoughts. First, remember, we done did everything they can think of. Greatness is what we are on the brink of. Second, congratulations to the class of 2015. To quote my good friend and colleague, Drizzy Drake, starting from the bottom, now we're here. And lastly, I'd like to close with these 3 words. Peace out, HHS. This has been valedictorian Warren Wellington, signing off. And one more thing, I'll see you all at the reunion. Thank you.